Hi guys, Chris here with another video tutorial. This one I was in the middle of working on a project for my Etsy store. I have a problem with Grogu, the child from The Mandalorian. I just love him so much. So I just keep creating patterns with him. So if you are interested in making this scarf, he will be available in my Etsy store very shortly. It will be within the week. If you're watching this video when it's new, it will be very soon that he will be up and ready for purchase. That being said, I am pulled way back on my camera angle right now, more than I am used to. I'm not used to, this part of my body, like being able to be in my shots. So if you see me lean over a little bit too far or something like that, just ignore it. This is a learning curve for me. I'm still kind of learning this thing. Let me start off this video by saying, like I always do, that this is how I crochet. It in no way represents the entire crochet community. We're all artists and we'll all develop our own very specific way of creating. However, there are some basic things in the community, and that's what I'm here to teach you today. That being said, I'm located in the southern United States, and I will be speaking in terms of US standard crochet. So just keep that in mind. If I say anything like this is a single crochet scarf, obviously. So if I say any terms that I don't want to confuse somebody if they're used to European terms. But this video, what I wanted to go over, it just occurred to me as I was sitting and crocheting this scarf and writing up my pattern, that this, along the edge here, I am carrying these yarns up the side of my project. I am not in between all of these colors. I am not tying them off and weaving them through, because I find that you just it just creates a mess if you wash something like that a few times. You're either gonna like work them out just a little bit, or you're either gonna have it's just gonna take a very long time to weave that through so that it doesn't work its way out. And basically, over the years, what I have done is I have done my best to do things that are efficient as well as beautiful. And I find that carrying my yarns, when I have like a short space like this too in between things, especially going, for these two little rows here of single crochet, and this is DK weight, so this is a very short distance. I find that if you cut and you tie and you weave in, you're going to be using a whole lot more of the yarn. This is, I don't know if you guys can see this at all, but this yarn, just one of them was I paid $33 for it. So I'm not going to waste any of this yarn. I am very cautious with utilizing every little bitty scrap of yarn. I do not want any of those sheep that had to donate their wool to my projects to be unhappy that I, just weaved their stuff in and didn't use it. Every single bit of it is going to be used to the max if it is a project that I have done. So, like I said, this is a merino wool, and it is both of them are DK. This obviously is a tweed. I've got a couple more things in here. I've got some Angora in with this as well. So it's very soft and very shiny, and I thought it's going to show up very good on video. But sorry, I get wordy. So let me get back to it. So this is what I am going to teach you, and it's, may not be the best way to do it, but this video channel is about how I do things, and hopefully it will make your crocheting a little bit easier. So right now I am 3 stitches away from being to the end of this, and then I switch back to my lighter color for just 2 rows, and I can talk through doing those rows, and then I'll show you one more time. So the way that I do this is I always pull this yarn, my non-working yarn, behind my working yarn, and I'm going to catch it in there if I was going to go up another row, but I am actually switching back to this color right now. So I'm just going to drop my working yarn, and I'm going to pull this through to complete the stitch. Now what that does, I've seen a lot of people go through and complete their stitch with the color that they are currently working on. I don't ever do that, because your last loop that you pull through is actually the beginning of your next stitch. So I always try to finish my stitch up with what I am going toward. Now, since this is now my non-working yarn and this is my working yarn, what I'm going to do is I am going to pull this working yarn behind the non-working and just catch it into the chain stitch at the side. Just give it like a slight little tug there, and then I'm just gonna kind of push this out of the way. If it, you know, overlaps or anything crazy there on the end, it will be fine. I kind of ignore that and let whatever happens there on the end just kind of happen. And usually once you get a little bit into your row, if you just kind of reach back and, you know, just very sharply tug on that, it's not going to stretch it too far down, and it's not going to leave it too stretched out. It just kind of pulls it exactly where it needs to be. And I really hope that my camera angles are appropriate, because this is a brand new angle here for me. If anybody has any questions once I am finished with this video, please ask me below. If you have any suggestions for me as well, because I have been doing this a long time, and you know, I think that I've gotten to a point where it's good for me to start teaching others how to do this, because I want everybody to know my little tips and my tricks, and this is how I do it, and hopefully it'll help you guys. But I definitely I can definitely learn a thing or two. I learn a thing or two quite often when it comes to crocheting. And as I switch back and forth, going back and forth with my rows, I will move those balls, the winded cakes that I have there, back and forth, because I am very careful with not tangling up my yarn again, and that comes from my intense desire to not waste, you know, even 1 little inch of this yarn. It is so expensive. I am on a limited budget. You know, you can't just go and spend $30 on a hank of yarn and just waste it. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. You just shouldn't be doing that. That's just crazy. But okay, we are coming again to the end here, and we are going to switch back to this green color here. So again, oh gosh, I hope I was in the frame while I was doing all that. Again, you're just gonna drop this, and I'm gonna bring this back around where I want it to be. And sometimes it can get a little fiddly with holding on to, you know, two different yarns at once. But once you've done it a couple of times, you'll get it. I promise. It seems like it might be a little bit confusing, but it's not too hard. So we finished that stitch up here. And again, we're going to catch this white or cream colored non-working yarn into the chain stitch at the end. So I'm gonna just wrap it this way. And that is how I do it. That's really all there is to it. You know, turn your work like you always do, and just don't really, like I said, don't really worry about where that yarn's going there at the end. It'll wind itself up a little bit there at the end, but that's okay, because you never really leave, you're not going to leave your project like this. I will go around this with, you know, a single crochet up the edge, and I will be doing a video on that too, so stay tuned. I may even do it with this project, because I am really trying to quickly build this channel up so that it goes hand in hand with my Etsy store, so that it makes things really, really simple for people to be able to follow along with my patterns, so they know what's going on in my brain as I am creating these patterns for you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. If you have any suggestions for me, please leave them below, and I will get back to you. Thank you so much, guys.